So you went to the same high school as Beyonce, or the same elementary school as Beyonce?
Yeah, she went there high school too.
Okay, cool. Were y'all good? Did y'all win some
Nah,
game?
we were trash.
What was that like in New York, being there in like 5th grade for you? I bet that
We
was
almost
kind of
got robbed. Like, and
Really?
we were walking right into it.
Those orchestra girls be freaky out there at the camps, bro. Be honest, bro.
No, really weird.
Yo, what is up with you guys? We are back with another great episode of Everybody Hates Jabber, streaming on all platforms, guys. Today we have an incredible guest with us today, violinist Michael Prince. How you feeling today, man?
Good, kind of cold.
It is a little bit cold down here in Oklahoma, huh?
Yep.
Are you used to this kind of coldness, or
Nah.
not even close, huh?
I just graduated from here, so kind of for 4 years, but I've been back in Houston, and it's been actually nice to not be freezing all the time.
To not be cold, yes, man. And it kind of hit us out of nowhere, too. Like, it seems like just last month, it was like 50 degrees, 60 degrees, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, we just ice storms and all this other crap. So, yeah. So, anyways, man, I'm glad you came out here today, man. I appreciate you showing up today, jumping on the pod, man. I know this ain't the first time you've done one of these before, but just gonna be just a little conversation, you know what I'm saying? I know we haven't met before today, you know, but about to get to know each other today and just have a good little conversation. So appreciate you for stopping by. But who would you say who is Michael Prince?
Really, I'm just like a regular kid that hoops, plays violin, just does stuff that makes me feel good, really. Right.
That's what you like. That's what, like, the things that you do is just things that purely just kind of make you feel good at this point. Yeah. That's what's up, man. It's good to like be able to do things that just make you feel good and not have to do things that you don't want to do. You know, I mean, we all got to do things that we don't want to do, but you know, purely just being able to at least look on the bright side of like, hey, man, I get to do the things that I enjoy doing. Like, that's a beautiful thing in life that a lot of people, you know, struggle to find. So being able to find that even at the age that you are now is an incredible thing. So where were you born and raised at?
Houston, Texas.
Houston?
Yep, 3rd Ward, Houston, Texas, like in between like Texas Southern University and the University of Houston.
Okay. What was it like growing up in Houston as a kid and stuff?
It was cool. I didn't really do much. We were really like, I guess we had strict parents, so we didn't go out much. Yeah. I'm only really now like starting to really like explore the city. Right. You know, having the freedom to do so, but yeah. We really like went to school across the city. We didn't go to school in our neighborhoods because the neighborhood schools were kind of low performing. Right. So, and our parents were fortunate enough to actually like drive us across the city basically in the mornings, drop us off. But yeah. What did your parents do? My mom is a professor at Lone Star College, community college in Houston. Okay. And my dad he works in human resources for juvenile probation. Oh, okay. But he used to be like a probation officer that would like work with kids in juvie. Yeah, I got you. So, because I kind of grew up like the same, like where I went, you know, I didn't go to the school in the city. I went like 15, 20 minutes away where it was like a little bit better performing, smaller classes and things like that. Did you ever get kind of like a lot of did you get like a lot of pushback and like a lot of negativity in the inner city whenever you were like with your friends and stuff? Like, oh, you go out there to that nice school and stuff like that? Not really. I guess like hooping for me was like leveled the playing fields. Yeah, like, kind of bridged the gap for you. Yeah, because most of the times when I would be out and would be like interacting with other people, it would be like on the basketball court or like recess sports. I was on the cross country team and track team. Yeah. So it's like out there wasn't really about where you from. It's like what you can do on the court and stuff. Right. Yeah, I feel that. Because like growing up again for me, it was kind of like a lot of people would always kind of like be like, oh, you white. Because I used to go to I get that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I'm like, bro, like sure. I'm not white, bro. I just wouldn't really care. I really wouldn't care about that, honestly.
as a kid, I ain't gonna lie, like it used to hit me. Yeah, it hurt, and I'm like, bro, like no, I'm not. Like I'm just like y'all.
You're an Oreo.
Yeah. Now I'm like to the point where I'm like, bro, I don't care. Like what you calling is white is me just saying I'm educated and I talk proper.
It's like now people understand because I'm like, here's how I connect this part with this part, and they're like, oh, you weren't just a weird kid. Like you actually do normal stuff.
Like, right. Yeah. They think you just a weird kid. Like what, bro? Like that's crazy. So you started playing instruments at the age of 3, right? With like the drum, right?
Yes, sir.
So what, like, was music something that your parents did before, or what kind of got you started into?
Yeah, my dad was he was a pianist, a jazz pianist. Went to the jazz piano high school for the performing and visual arts in Houston. That's where I also went. That's where my sister also went. My sister plays the cello, and basically his mom, my dad's mom, my grandma, put him in piano lessons like down the street from his house when he was growing up. And basically, I guess he brought the drums to me because it's like I was so energetic as a kid that they were like, "Here's a drum set."
To channel that energy.
And I would just bang on it and scream, and basically that's how I got my energy out.
Yeah. Dang. So what do you think was it like what do you think it was for you that made you love that drum, like, and fall in love with music itself too?
I mean, it was like big in elementary. We went to a magnet music school.
Okay.
Like my parents really wanted to emphasize like music as like something that would really help us get through high school.
I got you.
Because it's like we went to those schools because we were, talented in music. Like you had to audition to get in that high school. And they invested a lot in music lessons instead of like basketball, sports like that. I only played basketball like casually at the YMCA.
Got you.
Because it's like we had so many music commitments. Yeah. We would travel like with music.
Right.
Versus traveling like AAU and stuff.
AAU and stuff like that. What was that like? Like kind of being so young and then traveling with music and stuff?
It was cool. Like I think the first time I realized like, oh, I gotta keep playing violin is when we went to Minnesota. I was in 5th grade and flew to Minnesota. Yeah. Played in like the national like Suzuki, which is like the learning method of learning by ear. Okay. We went to that conference and performed. And I was like, whoa. And we went to the Mall of America, went on roller coasters and stuff.
Dude, that place is so cool.
Yeah, and just from playing our instruments, and then high school, we went to New York, played in Lincoln Center, and did like the wow. And that was back when people like actually would fund the arts. Nowadays like they don't
way
travel
underfunded
like that.
And stuff like that. Yeah.
But it's like every single, I think February coming up is this Texas Music Educators Association. Conference, and basically like a lot of schools go to that, perform. That's where you have your regionals, stuff like that.
I got you. Yeah, I went to we used to do like a lot of family reunions and stuff as kids, and one of them, we have a bunch of family that live in Minneapolis, and we went down there and went to Mall of America and all that stuff. That place is so crazy, bro. Dude, that place, I remember the first time I went in there though, like I was probably 6, 7, maybe about 8 years old. I can't really remember. But we walk in, and we probably get 15 steps inside the door. Next thing you know, we just see 3 dudes come bolting past us. Boom, 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 just running. Whoa. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? About 30 seconds later, you see 3 security guards come running past. And, like, they are just they're so close to us. One of them, like, brushed my cousin on the shoulder, like, almost knocked him over. And I was like, dude, this place is crazy. Let's go.
That's crazy.
That was so crazy. I remember my aunt and uncle, they let me go to the lid store by myself. Wow. At like 8 years old, they were like, you can go
they let us actually split up.
And I'm like, this is crazy, bro. I'm in the biggest mall in the entire world, and they're letting me go by myself. I'm about to have a day.
Oh, man. We were actually free to like roam around the mall as 5th graders. Yeah. And also in high school, when we went to New York, they let us like explore the city a bit too.
Really?
But nowadays it's like I don't think they
nah, it's not. It's a different time too. Like how old are you now?
22.
22? Oh, okay, yeah. So you're even younger than I am. I'm 26, so yeah, it's definitely a different time from back in the days, like whenever you could just kind of be out there a little bit more. What was that like in New York, being there in like 5th grade for you? I bet that
we
was
almost got robbed. Like,
really,
we were walking right into it because my friend is I had a Caucasian friend and an Asian friend.
Okay.
And I had grown up in the city, but I hadn't really grown up in the city.
Yeah, right.
So like, we went over like to a hot dog stand and I like got some hot dogs and
classic.
Yeah, and we were walking over to a basketball court because I was like, oh, there's a court.
Yeah.
And then this kid walks up to us and he's like, can you help me go get my basketball back? And so I'm like, okay, sure.
Oh gosh.
And so we're walking down an alley towards the basketball court, and then I'm like, wait a minute, y'all. And my other two friends were like oblivious. They were like,
they
okay,
were just
let's
like
go.
Going to get the basketball, yeah.
And then I was like, maybe we shouldn't follow this dude that we don't know when we're high school students in the middle of New York City.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like the downtown. Like, we had walked 3 miles or something, but yeah. But we turned around.
You just turned around right then?
Yep.
Did he say anything when he turned around? Or?
Nah, I was just like, actually, we gotta go.
Yeah. Your friends were probably like, wait, we gotta help him get the ball. What are you doing, Michael?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, man. All right, so back to the school. You go into school in 1st grade, and at that point, like, is that a musical, like, inclined school, or?
Yeah. It was a magnet school. We were in choir.
I'm not sure exactly like what a magnet school is.
Magnet school is like you have to have a certain concentration. It's like, whereas some schools have more focus towards STEM, there's some that are magnet, and so they actually had the funding where we had private lesson teachers.
Got you.
It's just a really big music school. That's where Beyonce went to elementary.
Okay.
So they you have choir. I was actually in choir until 5th grade.
So you went to the same high school as Beyonce, or the same elementary school as Beyonce?
Yeah, she went there. High school too.
Okay, cool.
I guess Houston just is like a creative city, honestly.
Yeah, sounds about right. So anyway, so you go to this school in 1st grade, and they tell you to choose an instrument. And like, what made you kind of want to go to that violin? Like, why choose that after you've been playing the drums?
I don't know.
Just kind of random.
Probably because my sister picked the cello.
Yeah.
And I wanted something that I didn't have to lug around everywhere.
Yeah.
But also looked cool like that. So.
Yeah. I guess I can make that. And the violin, I just feel like it's so much like, it just seems like a lot cooler. I don't know. Like, the drums are cool and stuff, but like when you play the violin, it just seems like more like elegant, Like, I'm a violinist.
I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I honestly just picked something random. I didn't think I would enjoy it.
You really didn't?
Nah.
You just kind of was just like, I'll just take it. What made you, like, when did you start learning that you actually did enjoy it? Was it immediately, or did it take a while?
I mean, we would always do it so much. We did lessons every single week, like one violin lesson a week after school. So that would be like a trip. Like, so I would go to my sister's cello lesson, and then right after it, I'd have a violin lesson, and we would do that every week. And so I was like already involved with it so much. Schools, we'd have a lot of concerts, and then up through high school, we were doing that too.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to come to OU for engineering because I think it might have been Buddy Hield days of when he was hooping here.
Yeah.
I kind of like was interested because I kind of like related my play style.
Okay.
Like, growing up, I would watch certain players and try to mimic that. So Buddy Hield era is happening, and I'm like, okay, that's a cool school. And then I start watching OU football. And then at that point, it was like, okay, this is just my like college, team that I'm associated with the most. And so I started looking at them for engineering because like my parents were like, when you say you want to go to college, you can't just say, oh, I want to go to that college because I like the sports team. So
right.
I looked into mechanical engineering, and like I was applying for mechanical engineering, and then like one time, I think it might have been right before it was time to start applying, I was like in church seeing the people up there doing their music, and I was like, do they actually get to play music like all day?
Yeah.
And with the church budget in Houston, like we went to a mega church, so like they had the budgets where like that was all they did.
Right.
And so I was like, Mom, I wanna go to school for music instead. And OU also happened to have a good music program too, in addition to the engineering. So I just redirected that.
Yeah.
And I had been playing all my life anyway. And
kind of made sense.
Hadn't realized that like our education in Houston put us so much far ahead just coming in.
Yeah.
Where I didn't really have to do much in my beginning music classes because it's like we already had that like engraved in us.
I've been doing this since elementary, man.
Yeah.
So doing all that music and stuff as a young kid, did you ever kind of like hate it? Did you ever get to a point where you hated it, or was it always kind of like you loved it?
No, because it didn't really, I mean, I could really like not practice and still like our teachers didn't put so much pressure on us where it was like, if you don't practice, like, you know, you're gonna suck or stuff like that. It was like, okay, if you practice, if you don't practice, whatever. But they could always see that I like, they valued me staying in it versus like needing to excel.
Right.
You know,
I got you.
It wasn't like a sports situation where it's like, right, it's make it or break it. You know, they were just like, okay, you're continuing to play when most people like will just drop the instrument.
Yeah.
And especially in college, like, it got to a point where, and that's when I really started like exploring different genres. It got to a point where I was so busy working just to like be here that my teacher saw like, okay, he's not practicing as much, but he just enjoys the music and loves it, and he's working his butt off to even be here.
To just be here, yeah.
So like he wasn't stressing out about stuff like that. And then once I started like actually doing other genres like hip hop and stuff, and then they were like, oh, he has a love for this, and that's what he puts that most energy into. And so they were like, okay, we'll just support you, like whatever you're trying to do.
Dang, shout out to them though for not like trying to make you go to that normal, you know, classical style. And
that's
and
what conservatories do. That's why I didn't want to go to a conservatory, because it's like in high school everyone was, you know, preparing to go to like a Juilliard or you know, those big New York schools, and I was like, I don't really want to be like someone like Tchaikovsky or one of the like music, like I'm musically inclined, but it's been like taught by ear, not I'm sitting here music theory. Like I struggle with music theory because it's like that's like math to me, and fitting into a box. Like music where I can like create what I want to create is cool. And what I actually want to do.
And I feel like it comes across that way too, you know, like it feels more like whenever I listen to you do what you do, it feels like this dude loves this, like, and that you can feel that, you know what I mean? Like I've literally sat there and just like listened to some of your stuff, just like, and you just feel it, you know what I mean? And like when I listen to like classical music, like Mozart or Beethoven, like it's cool and it's nice, but it's like I don't connect to this, I don't feel this, you know what I mean? But like you still, like you are presenting, you're bringing it to another demographic of people that normally wouldn't even be listening to this type of, that style of music. So kudos to you on that as well. But yeah, shout out to them for not trying to push you to that. So anyway, so whenever you finish high school, you go to OU and stuff, like were you kind of excited to go to OU? Were you excited to go start college, or were you kind of like, dang, it's in Oklahoma? But
honestly, I didn't like start realizing that I needed to like actually start physically moving myself until the day before it was time to like go and move. And then it's like, oh, wake up call, you're going to college. Because I've always been like kind of like a, I don't know, immature, difficult kind of kid, hard to focus, because like I just didn't like normal classroom work. I liked stuff that's creative, you know, creative projects. And so it's like they were like, okay, you have to handle all these things, you know, you have to move in, you have to enroll in all these courses. And back in high school, like we had math, science, and then what's the other thing?
History or
okay. History. Yeah. I don't. That's.
I don't even know the subjects.
But like we would have so much of a art area, music. Yeah. You know, I think my senior year I didn't even have any like core classes. Just I was going to like music, and then I had a senior capstone class. But in the senior capstone class, we got to make creative projects. So I was over here like shooting like commercials, films, stuff like that.
Is that where you kind of got like your love for being behind the camera too?
Yep. Yeah. My senior year, since we were at art school, we had no sports.
Right.
So
right.
They didn't fund any of that. So my senior year, I was like, man, like we're out here at lunch, hooping, and some of us are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So we might as well make a basketball team and pitch it to the administration that like, oh, we have a basketball club now.
Yeah.
Can y'all sign off on something so we can play other schools?
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, we might as well.
Yeah.
And we ended up, we used it as like a kind of documenting. It was a YouTube channel.
Okay.
That was not my first time creating. Like, I used to play with GarageBand back at home and then play with iMovie back at home since I was like 7, because our family had like one of those old MacBooks.
Yeah.
But I basically took that to a YouTube channel form in high school through my phone. I would use like iMovie on my phone, GarageBand on my phone, and like kind of compose some beats to go to YouTube videos that were documenting us hooping. We had like hooping basketball vlogs. We did a music video. We did we would stream some games and basically grow a following.
Did they actually like create a real basketball team too that allowed you
guys
to play?
Yeah.
I think that was cool.
Yeah, I managed that. I had to, because they said, okay, we're gonna be your principal sponsor, but we're not gonna actually like go to the games and stuff. So y'all are gonna have to figure out how to do that yourselves and make it work. And I was like, okay. So I was in like group meets with like assistant principals and teacher sponsors at all the like vanguard kind of schools around the city. And we would coordinate coming to games. We had to figure out how to get our own jerseys. We made merch, but it was all like funds that we would raise as a group and make it happen. Yeah, because it's like, I was like, bruh, we're never gonna get to hoop ever again.
Yeah.
Like most of us are going to school for like arts and stuff.
Yeah.
But like the school, we didn't even have PE.
Yeah.
So it's like our lunchtime was us hooping, and then we were like, let's make it fun, let's make it creative, let's make some videos. And then it was like, wait, should we actually play a real team? And we played a team, recorded it, vlogged it like it was like halftime interviews and stuff. And we were doing pretty well. And then we posted that, and they said they kind of got respect from it.
Yeah. And
because their coach was hitting me up, and he was like, some of the guys didn't like that y'all posted that video because it made them look bad. Would y'all like to be involved in our league and like actually play games? And I was like, yeah, sure. But that kind of gave us that opportunity to even play.
Were y'all good? Did y'all win some
Nah,
game?
we were trash. Because we only really had like 2 decent players. It was me and then our point guard. But like me and him alone, and we didn't have a coach either.
Okay, yeah.
We didn't have any funding to like do stuff like that. We didn't really have time to practice because we were all musicians. But like we scheduled games. We showed up. If we needed to pull a random 5 together.
Yeah.
And like just do a jersey swap. Like we made it happen. We actually won 2 games.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, so those teams must have been really trash.
No, one of them was awful. But the other game, like, we were going crazy.
Yeah. I was fully expecting you to be like, yeah, we was all right. Like, we said, no, we was trash. Oh, my gosh, man.
But, like, people came out and supported. That was the crazy thing. Like, when we played that team that we had made the original video, like, about, people actually showed up and supported. I'm like, wow. Yeah. That's cool.
So what was one of your favorite memories of being in college?
In college? Probably intramural basketball.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's when I could actually, play competitively. That was more competitive than YMCA for me.
What is that?
You mean, what is YMCA?
No, intramural, yeah.
Basically, it's like league where you have organization teams and then just student-led teams with the rec center.
Oh, okay.
And it's like a league. You probably have 1 game a week.
Yeah.
And then you have a tournament at the end.
Oh, okay.
At the rec center, 5-on-5 basketball. And they used to do it, I think, only in the spring, but now they do it fall and spring.
Oh, really?
But yeah, it's like 5 weeks of games.
Yeah, I bet that is pretty cool. I bet that is pretty competitive too.
Yeah, then there's like different brackets. There's like men's open bracket, which is like just everyone, and then men's residential, which is only people on campus. So that's like the less comp one. But the men's open is pretty competitive.
Yeah. Which one is you in the open?
Yeah, I would do the open a lot. Yep.
Are you nice with it or what?
Yeah.
I've seen some of your little hooping videos.
And if I like actually had trained growing up, like I'd be because like I made the basketball team practice squad in 7th grade, having not really like ever hooped like AAU or stuff. I was really just too small. Like I didn't hit my growth spurt until later. So in middle school, a lot of times they just put people on the team because it's a tall kid. Like the coach is like, I'm about to
literally
that's a Jokic right here.
Right.
So people that hadn't even played basketball were on the team because they were tall.
Yeah.
And like there was another like point guard around my height that he just had AAU experience. So
I got you.
Yeah, and then my 8th grade year I didn't make it because I did track and cross country too.
I got you. Did you ever think about like maybe trying out for the OU team whenever you got there?
Absolutely. I would troll about it, but not really do it because I had music. Yeah. Like I was tied to a music scholarship, so that would have been something crazy to say.
Yeah. But dang, that would have been good. Would you been hooping at OU?
Yeah, I'm actually.
Who was there whenever you were there? Was Buddy there at that time?
Oh,
or was
no.
That was
there
more
was
like
a kid.
during Trey Young days, huh?
No, not Trey. I just graduated in May, so probably. I don't even know. Umoja Gibson, he was probably here.
One of the biggest names there. I seen Trey Young play whenever he was there, but way back in the day. That was pretty cool. I think they lost. I think they played Texas that day.
Who did we play when I was here? I think we played Cade Cunningham one time when I was here.
Yeah.
That was crazy watching that game. It was like he's really frying us.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Who else did I see? I never seen him play, but I seen Adrian Peterson way back in the day whenever he went to OU. I went to a 76ers game versus it was whenever the Hornets were in Oklahoma City. So they were the OKC Hornets, and Allen Iverson was playing. So I got to see Allen Iverson on the 76ers play, J.R. Smith. I seen a lot of cool people play, and then Adrian Peterson was at the game that day.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. That's pretty cool. But I've only been to like one OU game though, basketball. I need to go to more though. Do you go to them often, like whenever you're back in town and stuff?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I haven't been back when they were actually like in season because I graduated just in May, so I would actually go to the basketball games as a student.
Do they give y'all like big discounts and stuff on tickets and stuff?
Now they give it to them for free.
Really?
Yeah. Now it's just like student ID, you show up. But back then, I think you got it with your football season tickets. So I think students could get football season tickets and basketball season tickets for like $225 at the beginning of the semester.
Yeah.
And I would get that not for really the football, like the football games. I would sell those tickets. But
you didn't go to none of the football? You don't like football?
I would go to like the first one or two, but I'd be like, that's also how I made money. Like in college, like I would flip those tickets, and then when we would go to like playoff games, it's like students would get access to those games. So it was like you could sell your student ticket and profit like $500 off of it.
Dang, that is true, huh?
Yeah. But I would just use that for the basketball tickets.
So speaking of like basketball and stuff with like the sneakers and stuff, I know you like sneakers a little bit. Did you ever try to get your hands on any of those OUPEs?
No, I'm actually not a really big shoe
Oh, you're not a sneaker guy. Okay.
This is actually my first pair.
Really?
Which was, I was kind of forced to get it by a friend that does, he has like, I think he used to resell shoes, but he has a good collection. So, and he was always like, hey, bro, I'm getting new shoes in because, like, I wear Crocs most of the time. I go for comfort, and I guess I do a lot in a day. So, like, I might go from fishing to hooping to, like, practicing. And for me, like...
You need a shoe that can do it all.
yeah, I can like go in the woods and stuff with the Crocs and then get in the car and yeah.
Yeah, but if you go in the woods and stuff and like in the Crocs, don't you like? Because they got holes and stuff
Not
in them.
all terrain like, Crocs.
Okay, he got that next level Croc game.
That it has a reinforced rubber bottom.
Okay,
I take it on like rocks and stuff.
Oh, okay, I got you.
I'm not sponsored by them or anything. Nah,
bro, just got that next level Croc game. Oh man, bro. Yeah. So back to college, man. Did you have Riz in college, man? Was you risen in college?
I was a hermit till like probably. Yeah. I was like a hermit in life, really, until probably until junior year of college.
Okay.
Because, like, I was quiet. I was usually busy with orchestra, and I didn't fit in with the people in orchestra. So my main, like, talking noise would be basketball.
Yeah.
And so basketball, I was cool. Like, I would go to the rec center a lot. But at college, like, I was working, too, working at Chick-fil-A. So I was, like, from school to practice to work to the gym.
Yeah.
Every single day, and super busy. And I really just you wouldn't see me at all.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't talk, but junior year, senior year, that was really me learning to talk ever.
Yeah.
So of course my Riz was bad. Like it improved really quickly because I started like senior year, started like traveling, you know, trying to improve myself.
Yeah.
From like this nerdy, scrawny orchestra kid to like
coming in more into your body and stuff, and kind of gaining that confidence.
Definitely, for sure.
Has the violin, has it ever helped you?
I mean, it obviously, yes. Yeah. Like I feel like it helps me too much. In a lot of situations, it's like I'll just be chilling and people think that I'm like being seductive.
Yeah.
And then like I become a sexual, you know, object. Just like the saxophone, like if you don't want to play the saxophone, like and make it sexy, like you can't really do that because that's what people associate it with.
Right.
And it's like they're trying to do that with the violin too, and it's like I'm really just having a good time. Like I'm chilling. Like people talk about they talk about my faces, and I'm like, I don't even see my faces.
Yeah.
But
the face is that's what gets me. That's what sucks me in. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Cause you like that when I was saying earlier, like you feel it. You know what I'm saying? It'd be the face, cause you just be there, just like
chilling.
Getting it, and I'm just like
chilling though.
Cause I be making the same face too. I'm making the face back with you, like, oh, this is nasty, bro. I know why he's making that face right now. Oh man, bro. So if you were to raise a girl with a violin, right? What song would you play? Is there a certain song, or is there like how would you do it? Would it be something slow, something trap, or something classical?
Probably anything, really.
He said it don't matter what it is, just the fact that I'm a black dude playing a violin.
Because I haven't really like played for someone one-on-one because I want to like be able to save that for if I'm like proposing and it be something really special. Like I can play for thousands, but not just one.
Yeah.
Because that's also like. The less the crowd, the more anxious I get and the more hesitant to play I get.
Yeah,
so
that is true.
If it gets to that point, then it's like it has to be a whole like symphony like performance. You know,
is that how you gonna propose to your wife, boy?
Hey,
you finna get all type of girls in your inbox now, man.
Crazy.
They finna be flooded. Hey, you can propose to me anytime, Michael Prince. I'll be your princess. Oh man, bro! Did you ever go to band camp?
Band camp, like orchestra camp?
I guess because you're in the orchestra, not band. So you did go to orchestra.
I think I'd travel. Like I would travel. That would be like our summer thing. Like go to Sam Houston. A lot of the colleges they have camps over the summer, and if your, family makes a lower income, then they'll provide the funding to get you out there and you'd audition and stuff. There were big ones for the super tryhards, but I would just do, the local ones. We would go to Sam's Houston State. We had American Festival for the Arts, and it's in Houston. And it would be like at a middle school for a week, almost like a day camp. You would do a lot of music stuff and then have a concert at the end.
What kind of other activities did y'all do at like camp and stuff besides just like music? Did they have like swimming stuff and
those would be specific camps. Like I would do basketball camp too.
Yeah.
And now I coach those basketball camps too.
Okay, got you.
That would also be through the university, Rice University.
So never like an actual like where you can't like not necessarily camp, but like you go to a location and like stay there for days and stuff.
No, some of them would be like that. Yeah. The ones in the city, Houston would usually be like commuting day camps, but there would be some at colleges, like OU actually has one over the summer where you go there and they provide dorms where you stay there. I think I did Baylor, Sam Houston, U of H has one. And then there would be ones like, there's some in the woods out in like Switzerland for really, really good kids. Yeah.
Dang. Those orchestra girls be freaky out there at the camps, bro. To be
I
honest,
don't think,
bro.
no, really weird. Like I didn't really.
So it's not true, man. Like
them.
the camp girls ain't really the band camp, orchestra camp.
No.
He said no. And if there was, I wouldn't try to find out.
It's like orchestra kids in general are kind of quiet.
Yeah.
Like, they're either quiet or really like super outgoing in a weird way.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, man. So going through college, your senior year, you got the opportunity to tour with LaRussell, right?
Yep.
So how did the opportunity come about right there?
Instagram. I just, it was actually my first breakup. Yeah. College.
Oh, okay.
First time I ever got a girlfriend, had finally secured the Riz. I think it was my junior year, and we were together, and then I was like, bruh, like, I'm already busy enough as it is. Yeah. Why am I trying to get into a relationship in college? And so I was like, hey, I have a recital coming up. I have to actually focus and practice because, like, I haven't been practicing the whole year. But that happened, and I was like, man, I low-key want her back, but I also, realizing that I gotta grind.
Yeah.
So I had to sacrifice one, and that was my first time actually sacrificing something like that. And I was just like scrolling on TikTok one day, and then I saw LaRussell rapping outside of Boss Market.
Okay.
I think it was a song called Boss Market Blues. And he was like, Boss Market Blues, hooping with holes in my shoes. And I was like, hey, that's the first time I've ever like heard a rap song and not just listen to the beat. Right. Because growing up, like I would listen to crazy music, dubstep music too, just because it was like beats that made my mind, And so that was the first time a lyric had really caught my attention, not for just being catchy, but because I actually identified with it.
You related to it,
Like I'd have holes in my shoes hooping sometimes, and people would be like, man, why didn't you have the latest this, that? And I'm like, bro, I'm not a materialistic person. So I saw that.
Didn't care about it,
Yeah, so I saw that, and I really identified with the simplicity of it. And I made a cover to it and posted it. And that was one of the first times I had posted on Instagram.
And this was like a violin cover?
Yep.
Okay.
A violin cover, because a friend had told me, like, up until then I'd been doing like some cinematic clips, like riding through the campus, getting some B-roll and playing along to it, like a cover or something. Right. But that was the first time like I was showing myself, showing my face.
Got you.
And recorded that, and he DM'd me, and he was like, hey, where are you located? And I was like, Oklahoma. He's like, you want to come out here and do a show? And he's like, here's the shows that are coming up. And I was like, yeah. And we to San Francisco, and Oklahoma was the furthest away from home and first time away from home that I had been.
Yeah.
And we had like never even moved growing up.
Right.
And so he was basically like, I kind of went half on it, like half. He covered the flight and I covered like lodging, but he said, I got you once the show's over. Yeah. And so I made that, a risk, went out there, and then it's like we had a rehearsal. I pulled up and I was like, man, this is just a dude's backyard. Yeah. Like, and we start like planning the beat. It was just me and the DJ. And the DJ would play a beat, and I would just start improvising, just playing something random. Because I was asking him, like, do you have a set list? Do you have this? Right. So I would just start playing, and then he would just have the DJ cut out the beat. And then he would just start rapping, just so like me just playing the violin, and then it like immediately like started to lock in, flowing, and like every single song we were playing was just like working perfectly. And I was like, whoa, like I've never been involved in something like this.
Yeah.
Then we had the show, and it's like he let me open the show too.
Wow,
like
really?
The first time, because I had shown him some music that night in the studio, and he was like, yeah, open the show. And so I opened the show, and ever since then, like he had me on everything.
Wow.
Basically.
That's crazy. Before then, like up until that point, had you done any like paid gigs or anything like that before then?
Not many, no.
Yeah. So that's kind of like your breakout.
I mean, we would do gigs as kids, like through the school and stuff. But that was my first like real
on your own type of thing.
Yeah, traveling, something like that. Yeah. But that would turn into my senior year. Like every weekend, I would be in like California doing shows or different places, and I would just fly and meet them there.
So what was going through your mind like whenever he did message you and was like, hey, you want to do this? Like, were you kind of like scared? Were you a little bit nervous? Like, am I ready for this? Or were you just like, oh, I'm so ready for this? When I got the
DM,
yeah,
I was like, whoa. Because up until then, like, I honestly, I was a music ed major for 2 years and I think a semester. Mm-hmm. And I had just switched from music ed to performance because I'm like, okay, I want to teach, but I want to be able to teach on a larger, like, I don't want to be stuck to one school. Like, I want to be able to move around. And I'm like, I think I can only do that if I'm like a director or a conductor, because with like, but that would have required a PhD.
I got you.
And so I was like, okay, let me scrap the education part. Let me just focus on music, getting better as a musician so I can apply to some of these grad schools and go. And I wanted to cross over styles, so I was looking at North Texas, University of North Texas, for alternative styles of strings. They had a program that was like perfect for what I wanted, and that program wasn't as large as it was when I applied, you know, to OU originally. Like, I got into North Texas for, I think, music ed. Got into here music ed, and it was between those two. And basically, I got into there. I think I'm skipping a lot of steps. Hold on. Where are we at in the timeline? We're still in college, correct? Okay. Yeah. And so I was just traveling a lot, you know, and that happened because I had switched to music. Like, once I switched to music, it gave me more time to actually make music and
be creative.
Yeah. Because, like, I had a lot more time where it was like, you need to be spending this time practicing. And I was like, okay, well, my practicing is going to be me recording over YouTube beats. Yeah. Because, like, that's how I, like, kind of trained my mind to, like, escape the classical box. And basically, I also told my teacher, like, I'm going to do more, like, crossover music, different genres for my recitals. Yeah. So he was like, okay, as long as you, like, practice and get to a certain point. But he also saw that I was traveling too, and so he was like, okay, that's what we want people to be doing. Like, so we might as well let you do that.
That's so cool, man. That's so cool. What was it like going out and traveling, being in LA on the weekends and then coming back to Oklahoma?
It was crazy. It was honestly, it was crazy. But, like, it didn't really register because it was, like, so fast.
Just so happened, like, everything and going so fast.
Just be back in class, you know.
Right.
But as a senior too, it's like I was in classes that kind of made that possible. I was in a senior capstone class that was about, like, prepping us for the music industry. Right. And, like, I was getting advised by my teacher about doing the things while I was doing the things.
Wow, yeah.
And so it was like I was able to come back to my classes and share some of that knowledge with the other students too. So it was it was great.
So what were some of the best moments on that tour, whenever you were on tour?
Just the energy and authenticity of the music, because it's like we weren't really doing things that were typical of people in the music industry. Like LaRussell being independent, that's not really something that happens usually. Usually people are tied to labels and you have to do the music a certain type of way. But it's like I was really able to get mentored by like an independent artist that actually ended up being an independent artist versus, you know, I'm going to be independent, but then, oh, here's the first deal. Boop, I'm gone. Like, he's really, like, sticking to it, too. And he's also bringing, like, the content stuff.
Right.
It's like what I was already doing, like, with content, it's like he basically shows how to monetize that.
Yeah.
And actually make it be realistic to be a musician and gig, but also make passive income by having, you know, a support of social media.
Right. Yeah, I was talking about that in one of my future or earlier podcasts, just about like how social media following and stuff like that can just be so influential. And one of the best assets that you can have in nowadays time is a following, you know, like the bigger following that you have, I mean, that can literally just provide you with residual income. And
even just connections, like that's how you connect to people. Like you can literally be able to reach the DM of like someone like LeBron James by him just following you. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
But it's like possible.
Yeah.
Because you have it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So whenever you were doing some of those shows, like how big were the crowds at some of those first shows that you had?
They started in the backyard. When they were in the backyard, it was like, okay, this isn't as big of an artist, but like the fact that he packed like 250 people in his backyard.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people that came were like big celebrities in the Bay Area, but I was kind of oblivious to it because I'm from Houston. I didn't really, like, I wouldn't know the artist. I would just hear the music,
right,
you know?
Right.
And so they were saying, oh, do you know who that was? This, that. And then, okay. And then I met Matt Barnes and I think Stephen Jackson.
Yeah.
They did the All the Smoke podcast, and basically we played on that in his backyard.
Really?
And so I was like, okay, And then we did like a couple shows like Harlow, Sacramento. Like we would just sell out shows super easily, and I was like, okay, this is fire.
Yeah.
And then we did the Fonda in LA, and like that was my first time being in LA, and then we get out there and it's like a crowd of like I think 2,000.
Yeah.
But 2,000 for an independent artist, and I was like, okay, wow. And then we just started doing music festivals. I think over the summer, this summer was crazy because I had done something with my church. So my church gave me the opportunity to play in front of like 3,000 kids.
Okay.
In half of a hockey arena.
Okay.
But like literally I flew from there to San Jose and we did the Earthquakes game. Earthquakes soccer game.
Okay.
So there were like 50,000 people.
Wow.
And we did the halftime show with I think Too Short and Mr. Fab. It was like a Bay Area Legends 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
So there were 50,000. And then we did Soul Bloom. And so that's when I was like, okay, this is crazy. Like, we're starting to do. Because I also kind of blew up at the same time that LaRussell was blowing up, too. Okay. So it's like, I was saying what he was doing that was working, and I just do the same thing. Yeah.
How does it feel, man? How does it feel to, like, actively be kind of, like, living your passion and your dream and, you know, being able to do it full time?
It's fire, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like, it's still not, like, I'm still not there yet because I kind of, like, I have the opportunity to move out there to California.
Okay.
I was supposed to have moved by mid-January. But I told myself, I was like, considering, like, what Houston has poured into me, like, music and creativity-wise, I don't feel comfortable leaving them so soon.
Yeah.
And not at least doing something in my community or giving back.
Yeah, somewhere.
And like I went back to my high school and basically shared them my experiences of what was happening because I was like, these kids need to know that this is actually possible because like people were making it seem like it was just some like dream-like thing, and I'm like, bro, I literally just post on Instagram. Like, you can literally get opportunities, like money opportunities from Instagram. And so I was like, I gotta share this. I went back to my high school and basically showed them, here's some videos, you know, follow me. And then I was like, y'all have your instruments out. Y'all want to play something real quick? And I basically put on a YouTube beat, and I was like, look, this is how I play along to YouTube beats and trick my brain into practicing. Yeah. And then I was like, y'all play this, y'all play this, y'all play this. And it was recorded. And I hadn't even thought twice about it. But like maybe like a month later, I was going through like things to post, because I just have like an overwhelming amount of stuff that was posted when nobody even knew me. Right. That I'm like, how do I like integrate this into a schedule and stuff? Yeah. But it was one of those days that I just pricked something random to post. And so I threw that up. It was like a 1-minute clip, and it hit like 7 million views on Instagram. Wow. And basically it's like, oh, a black man teaching an orchestra, like we need this everywhere. Yeah. But I was about to dip to California, you know, just do solo violin, hip hop, stuff like that. And I was like, how do we incorporate this into what we're doing out there? Yeah. And I was like, maybe we can schedule, you know, in whatever city I am in with LaRussell, I'll just pull up to a school too, because the demand was like everywhere. Right. And so I was like, okay, but first I need to do it here. Because I don't want to do it there first when like this is where it grew from. Yeah, right. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do a residency for a month in Houston called the Hood Orchestra Residency. And basically it's just going to schools, doing master classes, a lot of stuff for free. Yeah. Because I don't think like accessing some of the, you know, knowledge should be something you have to pay a bunch for. Yeah. And so I just like go and also I think that's gonna like justify people paying more for it in the future. If they see, oh, this is valuable, but he's giving it, you know, because he wants to. Like, I'm not doing it for my own glory or anything like that. It's just like, bro, this is something cool that should be shared. Like, and I feel like people can identify with it if they're like, they see it's natural. Yeah. Like, I've been able to succeed in the music industry as a classical musician, not putting on, you know, the coat and being in an orchestra and like having to sit up like this with like 100 other people doing the exact same thing, looking at the music and playing it perfectly. It's like I can pull up in a hoodie and sweats and play
whatever the hell you want. Yeah. Definitely. So what were some of the downsides to being on tour? Do you still actively tour now too? Like you said, you just did stuff this summer. So
this break, like the holidays, I was like, I'm not doing it, cause last winter, basically Christmas morning, I was
just pull that mic a little closer to you if you don't mind.
Christmas morning, I was like flying in from San Francisco, like not sure if I was gonna make it. Yeah. Because Southwest, you know, crashed.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So I was like, holiday travel is a negative. Winter travel also probably a negative. Yeah. But we're starting back up. Like, there's going to be a lot of, I think LaRussell's doing 1-week residencies in cities, which is also going to give me the opportunity to like do some master classes too. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, what are some of the downsides then when you are out there on the road and on tour and stuff? Just flying, honestly. Just having that uncertainty sometimes.
Are you scared of are you a little bit nervous on planes and stuff?
Not nervous on planes, nervous about if the plane is going to arrive on time and if we're going to actually depart.
Got you. Yeah.
Cuz like the last time I came back from San Francisco, like we got stuck in Dallas. And it's like at that point I was like, should I just drive? But the way it's like you wouldn't have gotten a refund because it was all weather related. Yeah. And like airline companies just make a lot of excuses.
Yeah. Facts.
But yeah.
Dang.
That's really the only thing. Like I love everything else about it. It's like most of the time we're working, like we're not really ever leisurely relaxing. Like we'll be in the Airbnb like producing. Yeah. But it's like what I like to do.
So what did that, like, going on tour and stuff like that? Like, how did that help boost your confidence level and stuff? Did it
I mean,
make you more confident?
Yeah, I was forced to actually, you know, LaRussell would give me an opportunity, you know, to showcase myself as a musician too. Mm-hmm. So he would kind of be like, here, do a solo or something.
Yeah.
But it's like I had to kind of come out of a shell, because a lot of violinists, I guess, get their flair from, you know, dancing and being very, like, expressive. But a lot of times, like, all my expressive stuff is in my head.
Right.
So I just want to be, like, you know, either chilling or, you know, I might be on a couch one time at a stage just in my natural habitat. But, yeah, it made me come out of my shell more. Yeah. Having opportunities to talk, you know. I did my first solo show, I think, last Saturday. Oh, it was really? Probably the first weekend in January to kick off the residency.
Okay.
I did a show, I think it was like 100 people, and it was like 2 hours long of me just playing, explaining, trolling. It's like I realized, like, oh,
what do you mean by trolling?
Like, I was like, audience be like, hey, and I walked around and, like, would put the microphone in certain people's mouths to be like, hey. I think a lady from the crowd sang a duet with me. Yeah. At one point, it was like I was really able to connect with the crowd and not be so tense, like classical, like classical. You're sitting there. The audience is like,
right,
and you know, like with classical concerts, there's like, oh, this man has a bachelor's of doctorate of music. Yeah. And he's like, if you mess up, it's like at a classical concert, someone's going to know. But if you're at a concert where you can just set the tone and do whatever, really, like, that's when it's like, okay.
It probably just makes it so much more enjoyable, too. Like, just being able to do, like, your own style, you know? Because, like you said, like, that classical stuff, it's nice and it's cool to listen to, but it is just so stiff.
And a lot of times the classical ideas are the stuff that I'm playing on the other, it's like the beat. Like, I'll play Mozart on a trap beat.
808s, yeah.
Yeah, but that's how that's how simple it was to connect. Like, I realized, like, oh, like, I already have this classical foundation, which puts me ahead of a lot of the other people that are being, like, creative with it. Yeah. Plus, you know, I can just post more than they post.
Yeah.
And then people will be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And be identifiable, you know.
Where did the idea come from to kind of mix those two together and not take that traditional classic route?
I think it was a Save a Little by Shorty.
Uh-huh.
And one time I was doing my scales, but I was recording my scales while I was playing into Logic because I could hear the reverb, and I'm like, I'm on a concert hall doing my scales.
Yeah.
But then I put the beat in it, and it was like the same key, and so I started playing along, and I was like, ooh. And it was so simple, but then I started, like, figuring out, okay, what other songs can I play? And then, oh, I can just play covers too. Like, that's when I kind of started improvising, because I took a jazz improv class in high school where I was, like, playing jazz violin with them, but they're like, bro, what are you playing? And I was like, I don't know, just playing what I feel.
So whenever you do these covers, is it like, are you, like, playing the violin to sound like this song, or do you play just like a freestyle violin, like, over the song?
Usually both. When it's a cover, I'll do, like, the melody that the singer does,
right,
and then I'll just start improvising to it.
Okay, got you. Because I heard that one. What is that? Was it a cover? It was like the do 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 do.
Oh, Still Tipping?
Yeah.
That was a beat that I found from a 16-year-old kid, you know, made that beat with that sample on it. And I was like, I've always heard that sample from being from Houston, like Mike Jones and Paul Wall. And so I heard that, but I was like, bruh, that's a simple melody. Just add a little flavor, add a little, like, ornaments to the note. And that's kind of what inspired it.
Nasty. I think that was the first one that put me onto you. I was using it, actually. I work at a sneaker store in Tulsa.
Okay.
And I was, like, filming, doing a reel or something, and I was looking through music. It was trending at the time. And I was listening to it, and I'm like, this is hard. I'm like, who is this?
And it's a simple idea. Yeah. It's like already was sampled as such a simple melody.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So take us through what it's like for you to create some of these sounds. Like how do you just literally just start playing how you feel, or got you, and you just hit the record and just kind of go record?
I usually like record in full time and like real time, just improvising, but then I'll just do a lot of layers, and then whatever layers I don't like that clashes, I'll just like fade it out or something.
Got you.
But
I got you.
I don't spend too much time trying to perfect anything, because I feel like that's gonna slow me down when it's like supposed to be improvised anyway.
Yeah. What was it like whenever you started having those first sounds like start going viral and stuff?
It was honestly crazy because it was so random.
Yeah.
So it was actually like that trip I was talking about Christmas morning. I think after that, when I got home, I was like super frustrated because that show had also not been that great. Like the sound cut out, and we didn't even get to finish that show.
Yeah.
And I was coming home on Christmas, and then I believe I had also like sprained my wrist.
Oh dang.
Or something. I was hooping, went up for a layup, and a dude like tackled me in the YMCA. They're just hooping like recreationally.
Bro,
and I'm
basketball,
like,
not football, dog.
And that's why I've also been like super scared to like hoop a lot because of the finger jams and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I got injured, and I was like, man, this is gonna like, how am I gonna practice? So I got a little wrist thing. I woke up that next morning super mad, and I got my sister's cello and found like a pretty like dark, beat, Memphis kind of beat on YouTube, and just played and recorded to
so you
it.
Can play the cello too?
Not really. That was my first time like really experiencing it, but I was playing something really simple. It was like 3 notes.
I got you.
And so I played that, posted it, and I was like, it was kind of going well. But then LaRussell reposted it on his Instagram, and it kind of went to like 100,000 views, and I was like, wow. And I was like, thank you, sir, for reposting. and then like a couple of days later, the one on my account that had originally hit like 10,000, it just started going up. And then with that, a little bit of the followers went up too.
Yeah.
But then that one hit 1 million, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And with that, I think my account had almost went to like 10,000.
Yeah. And
so I was like, okay. And then like I think January or February, it went crazy again. And it went up to like video?
Okay.
It just went again, because like once that went viral, I started, okay, I'm 3 times a day posting something new, like going not crazy, stopping. To kind of like just grow it organically, since it was already going like crazy. I can just be like, okay, here are the old videos and here are some new things too. I'm going to just do things that are similar. But then that one went viral again, went up to 3 million. And I think my followers went up to like 50,000.
Yeah.
But it's like on Instagram, when something goes viral, like you get a lot more growth. Like TikTok, it's all right. But and like YouTube,
Man,
but
YouTube's
Instagram,
a struggle, boy.
Yeah, with Instagram, you have a reel. You'll go up a lot. But I also had so much before that, when people didn't see anything, that people could just
and that's kind of where I'm at. That's where I'm at too. I'm like, I just got to put out content, because one of these days it's gonna go crazy, and then once it does, then they'll have a whole catalog of stuff that they can just go look at and help boost that too,
Absolutely.
And fall in love with your content from that point. And that's what it was for me, like whenever I went to your account after I heard that first sound, I was able to go and scroll for as long as I wanted to, and just find more stuff to be like, yo, this is actually crazy. Like what he's doing is something I've never seen before. Like I really appreciate that, so that was really cool.
And it was just practice anyway. Like I would take my phone, put it up, record it, sync the audio with Logic, and then just post it like little clips.
Yeah. So Besides the violin, I know, like, what else do you like to do besides, like, the violin? And I know you like to hoop a lot. What other kind of hobbies are you into?
Fishing.
Fishing.
When I came here, I got into freshwater fishing because there's ponds everywhere.
Yeah.
So I would have my fishing rod. I actually grew up fishing, so we would saltwater fish in Galveston.
Oh, right.
When I was here for school, I would have my fishing rod on my bike, zip tie it to my bike, and bike over to one of the ponds and try to catch a bass. And then I eventually would start watching YouTube videos. Yeah. I'd be out there, YouTube videos, casting. And then I finally, like, caught a bass one time back home in Houston, but it's like, okay, I can use that here at school. And so fall and spring time, I would be out there fishing.
Just fishing it up, huh?
I've been doing that in the Bay Area now, too. Like, wherever we go, like, there's lakes. So I just get a fishing rod.
You find somewhere to go fish now, huh? Have you ever, do you eat, like, fish like that?
Nope, no. Never really eating fish, no.
I got you. Because my uncle's a huge fisher, and, like, growing up, it seemed like every week he'd go out, catch some fish, a bunch of bass or perch or whatever, and then he'd come back and skin it and cook it. And boy, that man could cook some fish, man. I tell you what, man, you might have to. You ate some of his fish, man. You might be trying to go out there for real every day, man. He said, "I'm feeding myself for life off this fish." No, but so I see you be hooping and stuff. Like, who's your team with hooping?
Team?
Yeah. You got a favorite NBA team?
NBA? Honestly, I don't watch NBA basketball.
More college?
Yeah. I watch college. Whatever college game I watch, I'm going for the team that's losing at that current point that I'm watching it. Yeah. But March Madness, I usually will just, like, I always want to see OU win. Yeah. What was my March Madness team used to be, like, probably North Carolina. But really just, like, any players that I've been following, you know, played with, I usually want to see their team win. Yeah. And
that's how I am. I'm a player guy. I'm not really a team guy. Yeah. I can't really see myself being, like, dedicated to the Sooners for the rest of my life or dedicated to the Cowboys, you know, like I like LeBron James personally, you know, so I'm like a huge, like, wherever LeBron goes, that's my favorite team that year. So Lakers is where I'm at right now. And then, like, it's really cool too to be able to, like, the fact that Bronny is coming in, bro, like,
that's crazy.
That is going to be crazy, bro, watching a father and son play. Has that ever happened before? I don't think that's ever happened before.
Not on this level, I mean.
Yeah, literally. That's going to be crazy. But, yeah, I like LeBron a lot. Who's your GOAT?
Ooh, GOAT. I don't usually get in those discussions because I feel like times change. Like, you can't really say someone's the greatest of all time because we're about to have, you know, we have toddlers dunking. Yeah. Like, times are going to change. Facts. So, I mean, my generation, like, I didn't see Jordan play. Yeah. So, like, LeBron is the only person I've seen play. Yeah. And I see more of what he does off the court. Yeah. Like, with I Promise School and stuff like that. Yeah. Than anything. Yeah. I'm right there with you, man. And that's one of the reasons what I love LeBron for too, is because it's not just on the court. Like, he's great on the court. He's one of the best of all time on the court, but off the court, he still leads by example. You see his life. Like, you see his life too. Exactly. He's still one of the greatest person, like, just people, you know, like, all these different, like, athletes and stuff, they always have, like, there's always ends up being something that, like, gets tied to them, you know, about some negative stuff. They've never been able to give LeBron James anything. And, like, from him coming from high school at 18 years old with all the pressure in the world to be the greatest ever and him living up to that and then still being, like, a great example off the court, it's just one of those things that you got to tip your hat to type he's a dad, too. Like, he got a family.
Yeah. So what do you think of the Thunder this year? Do you follow the Thunder at all?
A little bit, not really.
Yeah, because you don't really watch a lot of NBA.
Yeah, I would go to the OU basketball games, but Thunder, I see they're doing pretty well.
Yeah,
so
they're going
congrats.
pretty good. Yeah, they're going crazy this year. They got a young team too. Yeah, I think. What do you think about the future of the NBA right now? Like, because in my opinion, bro, like, the future of the NBA is in good hands, bro. Like, there's a lot of exciting talent coming, you know? I mean, we're at the tail end years of most of the people that we grew up with. You know, most of them are already retired, you know. There's a few of them, Chris Paul, LeBron, and stuff like that are left. But the new guys that are coming in are the ones that are already there. LaMelo Ball, he's very entertaining. I like him a lot.
People are just getting a lot better too.
Yeah.
Skill wise, like crafty.
Right.
Some of the stuff I see is like even in college, high school.
Yeah.
People are. We're evolving.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. It's kind of like, it's crazy to think about basketball whenever it first started, and you know, back in Kansas, whenever they were shooting the ball in a little basket, you know, and like just how underdeveloped it was, and like now today where you got all these different tricks and people are dunking 12-foot tall goals and all this other crap.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh man, so with a lot of like the influential I completely just lost where I was at right there. If you had to choose right now, who you think you got taking home the chip this year?
NBA?
Yeah.
I really don't know.
You probably watch as much basketball as I do, because I don't watch a lot of NBA. Like, I just have so much stuff to do. But if I had to choose, I'm gonna just say the Lakers, because that's what I always want. So I always just go LeBron James.
Why am I acting like I'm not a Warriors fan?
You're a Warriors fan?
I'm a Warriors fan because when I was out there during the playoff time one time. And usually we're like grinding. But LaRussell one day, he was like, hey, we're not rehearsing today. Just take the day to chill. So I drove to San Francisco. It was like 30 minutes away. And I just wanted to see Chase Center.
Yeah.
And I got out there and they were having a Warriors watch party. And there was like people like were about to line up to be out there for like a couple hours waiting. So I was like, I'm only going to get this opportunity one time.
Yeah.
And so I went to the line and was waiting, and then the dude at the front of the line, guess dude that knows everybody or something, he was like, what are you doing here? And I was like, I don't know, I just saw a line, I'm standing in it. He's like, come up here with me. And he was like, when we get in, I need you to run to that seat right there, because there were only like a couple of seats like right in front of it. And I basically ended up watching them lose. I think they were were they playing the Lakers?
Wait,
I think they were.
Let
me do a little bit of research, but they might have been playing the Lakers.
Dang, bro, all these stories end up back to somebody losing, man. Bro. I keep thinking you're gonna be like, yeah, I seen them hit a game-winning 3 or something.
Nah.
That's man.
Warriors watch party. I was out there, watch party.
Yeah.
And then that's the dude. He was like trying to get me to raise up some Ukrainian women.
How did that go?
Not well. I didn't say any words. But yeah, I ended up getting a Klay Thompson jersey.
Oh man.
But when I move out there, that's gonna be the team probably I cheer for. I also like Steph Curry as a person.
Yeah.
You know?
Another
Klay Thompson, I watch him for spot up shooting.
Yeah.
Draymond is like, he's just a hilarious figure. That's me on the court, really.
Really?
I'm not that aggressive, but like,
you're a bully on the court like that.
No, I just troll. Like, I feel like he trolls. Yeah, he's there to get in the other team's head.
He does a good job of that.
He also leads. Yeah, he leads.
But dang, I'm just like, bro, why you always got to be so rough, bro?
Nah,
like,
he's crazy. He's tripping. Definitely tripping.
Oh man, bro. So as we kind of get here to the end of this pod, I want to get this thing wrapped up so you can get on out of here, man. But what can the people expect to see next from you, man?
A lot of music. Definitely a lot of music. Probably a lot more shows, touring. I'm gonna be on the move a lot. I think I'm doing a lot of stuff in Houston for Black History.
Got you.
I composed a symphony.
Really?
Yeah, like a
is it like a trap symphony?
Yeah,
let's go.
And it's there's gonna be like a film associated too. So
is the triangle an actual instrument in the orchestra?
Yeah.
That's probably like the easiest thing to play, huh?
Maybe.
Right.
Probably.
Is you just tap?
Yeah.
Well, if you need a triangle that's in that symphony, bro, I'll be up in there.
And I'm trying to like get the budget and awareness for it.
Yeah.
So like it can be like a global type of event, and we just bring everyone black that plays the instrument well, like all the greats that I've looked up to, like Black Violin, Damien Escobar, Dominique Hammonds, people like that you do know, like, because the string community for black string players is really small in like LA and stuff. So if we can get all those players together and not have it like, it can be improvised, no music, you know, we just highlight all these players and they can be in sync enough to like make something crazy.
That'd be crazy. Yeah.
And also integrate basketball, you know.
Yeah, I could definitely, I could triangle in that. I think I can hang with the greats in the triangle. Is that really like something that people like practice with and stuff though?
Absolutely.
Like, really?
Usually percussionists, like, you learn all the percussion instruments. So like whatever song calls for a certain song, you'll do it like timpani parts. And like a lot of times we'll switch from different parts.
Right.
But yeah.
I got you. All right, man. Well, go ahead and shout out to the people where they can find you and everything.
You can find me at michaelprinceviolin on pretty much everything. Yeah.
Got you. Sweet, man. Well, we appreciate you coming down here today, man, showing up in the beautiful city of Norman today. Today, like I said, I forgot to say it, but we are in Norman at Heat for Your Feet, right down the street, about 5 minutes, 10 minutes away from OU. So if you guys are ever in the town, you guys need some sneakers, you guys need some hype clothes, make sure you guys stop by, check it out. But like I said, man, we appreciate you for showing up today, man, and coming and sitting down with me and letting me kind of pick into your brain a little bit, get a little bit more insight to the life of Michael Prince, man. Sure.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's going to be it for us today, guys. We appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure that you guys hit that comment section, hit that subscribe button, and make sure that you guys turn on those post noties and get ready for another episode next week. Until then, everybody hates Jabber. We out. Lit, man. That's it, man.